Namaskar.
Namaskar.
Welcome to Clyde Samvada, brought to you by the Hindu Temple of Scotland. Today we have Anupam with us, and we are continuing our series on the Bhakt series. So we are talking here about the Bhakt of the Bhagwan, how the Leela comes to like into the form with the Bhakts only, because the people who are able to even participate in the Leela are one who are very close to God. None other than not just as it is said that not even a leaf moves without the permission of the Lord. So how can the Leelas can go on without His permission? So whoever is able to do anything changes, they do have a relationship with Him, the God, and not just the relationship, a huge permission, and maybe a lot more. So today we are going to talk about one of the Param Bhagavats, Mahabhagavat, and no matter which list you pick up, you will find him in every single list. No matter which itihas you pick up, he is there in every story. Some way or the other, he will have a role to play. He is the best and the biggest of the catalyst you will find to, like churn up the process, I should say. And well, he is represented by many ways and by different people. But today we will listen about the true form. We will try to discuss. Maybe we are not that capable of describing him into his real form, but we will try to discuss about him and also know more about one of the Mahabhagavats and Param Bhagavat, Narad ji. So Anupam ji, tell us something about Narad ji.
Thank you. Namaskar, Rishabh ji, and namaskar to everyone. So, uh, you know, beautiful topic selected for today, Narad Muni. So, when I think about Narad Muni, I maybe just for this discussion, let's just limit it to 3 points that we will cover. So, one is Narad Muni to me is an acharya. So, an acharya of bhakti. So, he's written, you have the Narad Bhakti Sutra. There's some beautiful, he describes what is bhakti. So, the bhakti path, if you want to follow, you can take Narad Muni as an acharya and just follow his teachings, and they'll give immense benefits. So, he's an acharya. Just touch upon that. The second thing that comes to my mind is he is the, I would say he's the man, I don't know the right word, but he's the man of Vishnu. So when Vishnu wants to do something, and he'll always use Narad Muni to start, he'll to spark it. And whenever you think of any katha in the Puran or whatever it is, it'll always be Narad Muni's. Yes, one day Narad Muni was doing it, right? That's how it all starts. So pretty much what Vishnu wants. He's doing that. And the third part is he's a Devarshi. So he's the rishi of the devtas, of the gods. How respected rishis are to us. So he's actually respected to the gods. So and rishis have this quality, saints have this quality of having a very, very tender heart. He has a very tender heart because all his actions, all his thoughts are geared towards how do I rid the whole creation of their suffering.
Is it right? Jagat Kalyan.
Jagat Kalyan, right? So that's his only thing. That's the only thing that drives him, and that's the only thing that melts. He's always in a molten state, if I could call it that way, and therefore all his actions, the end result is always that he will find some katha which we discuss, which we listen, and then we bring it into our lives and we progress. That's his objective.
So I just now got sparked with the thing that you said. So every story, most of it starts, like once Narad Muni was going from the Akash mark somewhere, or once Narad Muni went to see him, or went to see that. Also, it is seen, like Narad Muni is always on the go. Never heard that, one day Narad Muni was sitting somewhere. No, he visited him, he visited them, going there. Is he always moving?
He is. That's a very good. You caught that very well. So he is always moving, and that's because of a curse that was given to him.
Okay.
That you won't be able to stay in one place. Narad Muni, and guess what he was doing? So he used to. So there was a king Daksh, and Daksh was a Prajapati, and it was his job given to him was to expand the creation. So when kids were born to him, Narad Muni would somehow get a hold of them, and he would give them the Upadesh, and they would say, the objective of taking a human birth is to attain the feet of Sri Hari. So that's it. we're done. So he's trying to expand the creation, and here he was putting a stop over there. And this happened multiple times. I'm just going in very short. And that's when Daksh Prajapati came to say, oh, it's Narad Muni who's doing all this. I got very angry, and he said, look, you're not going to be able to stay in one place for X. This is some time frame. It will not allow you to complete whatever your discourse you're giving. So at least I'll be able to do my work. So that's when he gave him that curse. And Narad Muni is always going from one look to another. Again, this is Hari Ichha. So this is what Vishnu wants. If Narad Muni stayed at one place, he wouldn't have so many stories.
Definitely. I believe there was a story in Ramayana. I hope you will also recall it. That once Narad Muni, and it is between Narad Muni and Hanumanji. And Narad Muni asked Hanumanji to, I want to hear the Ram Nam from you. And then the rock starts melting, and his veena is in the rocks, and then it is stuck. And so I exactly don't remember what was the outcome of this, but it was just to do even more and more Hari Bhakti. And Hanumanji said that because now the veena is okay, so Hanumanji started doing the Ram Nam. Rock started melting. Now the veena has it's stuck in the rocks now, and once he stopped, the rock solidified, and now he cannot take the veena out again. And now he is requesting Hanumanji that, oh please. He's like, no, I won't do that again. And he's like, no, please. And then Hanumanji started running, and now Raj is running behind him. And then after doing a lot, and then he, begged him almost that, oh please, take my veena. And he said, oh yes, definitely I can do that. Not a big deal. And then he said, if you were anyways gonna do it, why did you, do this all? That I was running and chasing you, blah blah blah. And he said that you are such a Param Bhagavad that I just wanted this entire place to get shuddh by your charan sparsh. That just because you are here, you have chanted so much Narayana, that just because you were there and your feet has now, spiced this entire place.
Yes.
So he is like one of them that whose presence can just do wonders. Imagine what his words were doing to the people. Beautiful. So once talking about this thing, so I believe there was another story about he once wanted to get married. So if you would like to describe on that as well.
That's a very entertaining story, and there are so many lessons over there. But I'll try to keep it short. So it all starts about, and it's a very a good point. So now you know about this curse. So the story starts that Narad Muni, he went, there's a place, I think in Kashmir there's a place where he was saying, and he saw it's a beautiful location, rivers, mountains, and he just wanted to sit and meditate. He's saying it's such a beautiful, pristine, divine place, but he's cursed, right? He cannot. So, but he sat over there, and the curse actually became ineffective because of his intention, what he wanted to do. And it's a very beautiful chaupai in Ramcharitmanas. It says, "Seema ki chapi sake koi tasu, bad rakhwar ramapati jasu." So it basically says that no one can enter into the zone where Ramapati is standing guard. So Ramapati is basically where Narayan, right? The Naam is. So with Narad Muni saying Narayan, so the curse cannot enter that zone. It goes out. Right?
Ineffective.
So it becomes ineffective. So he was able to meditate. Now when he started meditating, he loved it. Indra is always a bit insecure. So,
that's what Indra means actually. Indriya, they're never satisfied. Yeah, with anything.
So he always, why is he meditating so much? Why is he doing so much penance? Does he want the Indrapad? So he sends, as usual, he sends his Apsaras and he sends Kamdev and everyone, and they do their stuff, and Narad Muni is like, whatever. Okay. So they say that if you want to really trap someone, just heap praise on him. So finally, Kamdev, he said, look, I've tried everything, and no one can stand in front of me. I've been given these powers, but you've reached a stage, Narad Muni, where you're not affected by all my everything, every trick that I have in my book. So I bow down to you, right? And that's when Narad Muni opens his eyes, like, oh please, like, it's a sukshma, as they say, okay? So he then develops this, as they call, the ankur of the ahankar. And I'd heard that once my mom had asked me, "What do you think Sri Vishnu eats?" I said, "What?" And he said, "He eats the ahankar of his bhakts. That's his food. Okay, he just kills it, because that is a big blocker in attaining, your ego, right? It's your ego. It does not allow you to meet your.
And a definite downfall, a reason for the
Exactly.
downfall.
So he just destroys it. Okay. And,
Okay.
So that started developing. So, and you know what Narad Muni thought? He said, "Oh, you know what? Shiva has also burnt Kamdev. Okay. So what happened was, when Kamdev tried this stuff on Shiva, Shiva got angry and he burnt Kamdev to ashes. But look at me. I've conquered anger. I've not just conquered calm. I've also conquered anger. So maybe I'm just gone above Shiva.
A bit better.
Right? So he goes to Shiva, right? So he's the way he is, and he starts narrating his story. And Shiva says, "Oh, I don't think this is going to end well." So, and he's very fond of Narad Muni.
Okay.
So he says, "You're great. There's never any doubt about it. Please do me a favor. Please do not go and say this to Sri Vishnu. Like you have narrated to me this whole thing. Please do me a favor. Please
So
don't do
Shivji
this.
is requesting Narad Muni.
Don't. He knows what Vishnu will do. Right? Don't. And Narad Muni is like, oh, so Shiva doesn't want Vishnu to know that I'm probably one level above
Indrajit or something like.
So and see, Narad Muni is all about Narayan, so he cannot but empty his heart out to Vishnu. So he does exactly that, and he goes to Vishnu, and Vishnu knows what's coming. So he gets up and he says, "Oh, please come and sit on the Sheshaja," right? So you become bigger than Shiva. This is your scene, right? So Narad didn't get it, right? So this is about to perform surgery. So that's when, so he narrates the whole thing, like Shiva said no. So Vishnu says, "Okay, this is about it, right? I can't let this happen." So Narad Muni is going and he creates, with his Mahamaya, he just creates a zone of, a very beautiful kingdom. And I roam so much and I've never seen this place. So he goes over there, and then there is a king, and there's a swayamvar of his daughter. So the king comes and tells him, "Can you see the hand of my daughter?" And when he sees the beauty of the daughter, it's Mahamaya herself. So he's just gone, right? So there you go. He thinks he's won over Ram, and he sees and he says, "I have to marry her." Okay. So, and he has no one other than Narayan. So he goes running to Narayan. He says, "Look, you're the most beautiful thing I know. So you have to give me your looks." So there's a whole story where and there's some very subtleties where he says, he puts some lines, if I can just "Jehi bidhi nath hoi hai tumora karahu so begi das mein tora." So he says, "I want this," but he's in the end just given his all his want. What comes out is "Jehi bidhi nath hoi hai tumora." What is good for me, karahu so begi das mein tora. I am your servant. Please do that for me. And Vishnu says, "I'll do exactly what is good for you." So
and there we go.
yeah, there we go, right? So he gave him the face of, he said Hari. So Hari is also a monkey. Okay, so he gives him that face. Now he protects him also. There's a subtlety over there also, that only the princess can see him in that form. The others see him in the Narad Muni form, right? So he doesn't allow him to get insulted. So and there are reasons. Why Vishnu does not want a Bhakti Acharya to actually go into a Grihast ashram. There are in the Param Bhagavad, Mahabhagavad, you will see Grihast, you will see Rishis, you will see everyone, right? So it's not everyone can attain Vishnu, but certain rules he wants. He doesn't want Narad Muni to go become a Grihast, and that's the reason. Finally, Vishnu comes, and the Mahamaya, she garlands Vishnu, obviously she says, and then Narad Muni is furious. And he's like, Vishnu doesn't have anyone on top of him, and he might not drink the halal, he's this, he's that. And then Vishnu suddenly comes in his way, with his bride, and says, "Oh, Narad Muni, how are you doing?" So Narad Muni then curses him, like, "Look, the way I'm suffering, you're also going to have to go and suffer." And then Vishnu pulls his Mahamaya, and then Narad Muni realizes what he's done. He falls at his feet, and he says, "Look, whatever I said, let it be false."
Okay.
And he says, and Vishnu just says, "Mama ichha kahe teen dayala," right? He said, "It's because I wanted it to be that way. Okay, now I'm burning inside me. I did this. What do I do? So again, a very nice indicator. He says, what do I do to get rid of this? What I've done? He says, go and Jahi Japahu Shankar Satnama. So he says, please go and recite the 100 names of Lord Shiva.
Okay.
And so this again, the subtlety over here is a Bhagavad aparad cannot be forgiven by Vishnu. It has to be forgiven by the Bhagavad. So in this case, Narad Muni, by considering himself above Shiva, it was a Bhagavad aparad that he had committed, for which he was given his due right away, and it was washed.
Super. Thank you so much, Anupam, for such insightful stories about Maharaj. And so, is there like a message towards the end of this video?
So I just like to touch upon the Acharya part of Narad Muni. He's just to give a few examples. Narad Muni is the guru of Mata Parvati. He's the guru of Bhakt Prahlad. He's the one who instigated the Valmiki Ramayana. He's the one who instigated the Srimad Bhagavad Mahapuran. And I could go on and on and on. But again, and that ties in with why he's doing this. He's doing this for Jagat Kalyan. So he's just caricatured and stereotyped as someone who instigates fights. That I think that just pains me. If you can just realize how what kind of a saint he is, and just not subscribe to that kind of a portrayal. I'm sorry, that's just a bit of something close to my heart that I would like to just pass. Thank you.
So I also think like it's just basically because people don't understand from where he is coming. It's basically like you see one side of the picture and you just make your judgment. You don't see who he is, who he has been sent from, and why he is doing, and what's the outcome at the end. Then things will definitely change.
Sure.
Thank you so much, Anupam. Thank you so much for giving insight for another episode for our Mahabhagavats. And we will continue with this series with yourself or some other Bhagavats. Thank you so much for listening to us. Namaskar.